We used a figure here on this broadcast last night that didn't sound right to us even as we used it. We said treatment of back pain ends up costing American society and individuals $90 billion a year. And this is not a correction. The figure sounded unbelievable, but according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's true. That means it's also staggering. Tonight, the choice it too often comes down to back pain patients, to operate or not operate. And here with that, our chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell.
Get rid of all of this pressure on his nerve.
Dr. Bobby Tay makes a big part of his living performing back surgeries. He also spends a lot of time advising people with back pain not to get an operation.
You try to tell them that, you're looking at a situation where you only have maybe about 65 to 70% chance of getting half improvement in your discomfort. And are you really willing to undergo something like that? There's so many options available today.
There are dozens of kinds of back surgery, and a major problem is that doctors often cannot identify the source of the pain. In some people, MRIs and other scans can show severely damaged discs when there is no pain. Several large studies have shown that back surgery is often only marginally effective, and that people who choose other options, such as physical therapy, are often just as satisfied with the results.
I go forward.
Still, about 1 million Americans a year, like Sally Lane, get surgeries at a cost of about $60,000 each. She had one operation 3 years ago. Then she developed problems in another part of her spine, requiring a second one.
Oh, it'll be nothing. I mean, it'll be great.
Experts point out that most people get back pain at some time, and it often goes away.
It's perfectly reasonable to try a period of conservative management. Rest, ice, over-the-counter pain medications if not contraindicated. But if it's going on for more than about 72 hours, it needs to be looked at by a physician.
The nerve is being squashed.
Doctors say surgery is usually indicated for people with evidence of nerve injury along with the back pain.
So we're going to release that for him.
That includes pain or numbness that radiates down the arms or legs, called sciatica. But experts say most people should try a non-surgical treatment first. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
And we'll leave you tonight with this item from Washington.